Hi folks! Welcome back to Second Wind Adventures. In today's episode, we wanted to interview our crew for a few candid comments about their bareboat charter experience in the Greek islands.
For this 2-week adventure through over 350 nautical miles departing from Athens, we took on totally inexperienced crew. That is, in new to catamaran liveaboard sailing and bareboat charters. It was the first time for the crew to ever set foot aboard a cruising catamaran, and for some, sailing in general.
With the exception of Kent and his wife, who are our friends and neighbors from our cottage country home in Canada, most, including ourselves, had never been to the Greek islands before either.
So for those of you that have been wondering what kind of adventure this might be for the uninitiated, we thought we'd hear it right from them. Oh, and being interviewed at the very end of the charter, so they're under no duress or threats from being starved to death on the boat or left behind or fed to sharks or those kind of things.
So please like and subscribe to our channel if you'd like to support us and see more content.
Okay, here we are with Devin, Michael, and Stephanie, new crew this year, and just wanted to do a very quick interview with them just to get their thoughts. We're on our second last day here in the Greek islands, and it's been quite an adventure. For these guys, it's been their first charter and first time with their parents in this kind of a trip. So just want to ask you some general thoughts. First, let's start with you guys in terms of how you overall enjoyed this experience. I know it's kind of different, but why don't you give us your thoughts?
It was nice. I think the sea days are long and rough.
Yeah.
It was an interesting way to explore the country. Instead of being on one place the whole time, you get to go around, see different parts of the islands. It was nice.
And also the food was well worth it.
Yeah, you like the Greek food here?
Absolutely.
And so what aspect of the Greek food did you like? Did you have anything you haven't had before?
An authentic Greek salad.
Just a salad.
All the local cheese.
Oh, the local cheeses are really good. Cheese balls.
Yeah,
Every
okay.
island has its own goats running around.
Yep.
And so how did you guys like the format of sailing one day and staying either overnight or 2 nights? Like, what were your thoughts on that kind of travel?
I think that we should have maybe done less islands.
Yeah.
Because we had almost every day like 5 to 6 hours of really rough sailing.
Yeah, it was pretty hard sailing because it's unexpectedly very windy here. So, I know some of you tried your hand at helping out with mooring and steering the boat and stuff like that. How was that?
We're expert fender adjusters now.
Yeah. Learn how to tie clove hitches and
You can
things
throw
like
a
that.
line now across
Yeah.
the water.
Okay, and if they were to say there was something you didn't like about this experience, what would that be for all of you?
The waves.
The waves?
Seasickness.
Oh, you guys had a little bit of trouble with the seasickness on the rough days?
Yeah, but like if
But
we
we
hadn't
managed.
been out there, like we had that day where the dolphins played with us in front of the boat. Like we would have never seen that if we hadn't come like via boat versus if we were just staying in hotels on land and stuff.
Yeah, really the only downside is the ratio of sailing to spending time on the islands.
Yeah.
You
It
did
would
what?
be better if like every single stop would be 2 nights and
Yeah.
then we would have a full day to explore the
Yeah.
island and just hop in a boat and then the next day leave.
Well, we could fix it by making it a 3-week itinerary. Stay 2 nights at every place we went to out of the 8 locations. So, yeah. So, anything else that you guys can think of that you either liked or disliked? How was your captain, by the way?
Great.
Pretty
A
not
plus,
too bad.
5 stars.
Although, I wonder how you're going to do without your crew. How are you going to...
Well, we need to get that kinetic catamaran with all the, automated sailing, the dock made, and all those things to help out. So, that would be short-handed sailing at its best, right? So, and where would you think another good location would be for this kind of a trip?
Gulf Islands.
Gulf Islands
That would
and
be interesting.
yeah, that's like cooler water sailing.
I think Korea would be really cool because they have so many islands to the south, but then you said they don't have a lot of anchorages.
Well, in my initial investigation into like countries in the Far East, yeah, there's not a lot of, in some countries there's just not a lot of sailing infrastructure, so they're not used to you know, mapping out on charts where to anchor. They don't have marinas necessarily for pleasure craft, and a lot of them could be for commercial fishing and stuff like that. So Japan,
Probably do
Taiwan, and
French Polynesia again, like.
yeah, that would be, I think that would be a nice location to do it.
Like doing a full loop of UK would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
To Ireland.
Oh, you want to talk about rough weather? That
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, any final thoughts? Like, what do you think of this place here? Just pan around. Great location.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
How about the name of the boat?
Yeah. What do you think of the name of the boat?
Where do you think
No
it came
comment.
from?
Say it 3 times fast.
Yep.
You do it. Mommy, pommy, mommy, pommy, mommy, pommy. All right. Okay. So thanks for your comments, guys. Hope you enjoyed yourself on this trip, and we'll look to the other guys for some more comments.
One last night of grilled squid.
Yeah.
Yeah, food here has been fantastic, right?
You're good.
All right, signing off. Okay, here we are with Kent and Leslie. And Kent and Leslie have already been with us now for 13 days of sailing on Mommy Pommy. So just wanted to, got the thoughts from the kids, and just wanted to get your thoughts and how this trip was for you, and maybe start off by some general, you know, comments about the overall trip.
Who do you want to go first?
Either.
You want to go fire away.
Go ahead.
Trip has been wonderful. We saw parts of Greece we never thought we would see. The small islands, some a bit more remote than others. Beautiful small towns, lovely beaches. The cruise itself was an experience and an adventure at times. We had some really rough days of sailing, which I wasn't scared. I was only scared of moving around the boat. Because you were getting bounced around, something terrible. But overall, it's been absolutely fabulous. Great food, great company.
Great. And you, Kent, anything to add?
I would second a lot of that. I would say that this is the second time we've been to Greece. We were here maybe 15 years ago. And that time we were sort of with a cruise ship, and we saw big islands like Mykonos and Santorini. But this was a completely different experience, being with the small towns and very limited number of people and with friends. It made it really different and enjoyable. And the sailing part of it, we're relative sailing rookies. Neither one of us got sick. That was a good thing. And we can say now that we've sailed in waters just as bad as grizzled veterans. And
Yes.
we're still here, and we didn't fall over, and that's fine. And Monty only had to swear at us a few times.
Yeah, just a few times. And now you Ken, you got more hands-on, and you know, that was your choice to get more involved with learning how to, you know, put up the sails, do the winching, tidy the lines, swab the deck, and we got some noisy delivery guys in the background here. But how'd you find that? Because, you know, remember a couple of nights we went to bed, we were pretty bagged from all the work, right?
There's a lot of stuff going on a sailboat, and a lot of stuff that's not obvious. And it takes some experience to learn it all, but it's important that you do learn it, because you never know when you're going to need some of those basic skills. And when Monty pulled into dock a couple of times, everybody that was here was busy, and it was an adventure, and we got to witness some other boats trying to dock that didn't make out as well as we did.
Yeah, I called them the shit shows.
And so we saw those, but we weren't part of a shit show.
Yeah.
And everything went really great, and that was important.
Now, did you guys have any moments at all during the trip where it's like, oh my God, what am I doing here? We're all gonna die.
Yes, me. Getting in and out of that dinghy. Monty.
Oh yes.
Captain Monty was so desperate for me to do a backflip and fall in the water. It's not happened, so I'm really sorry to disappoint you.
Yes,
But
yes.
no, I can't say I had any of those moments where I was like, oh my God, what have I done? I was just, the first couple of times in and out was, I just didn't want to embarrass myself, so I was a bit
Yeah.
clumsy, but I'm just getting better at it, so the trip went on.
Well,
So-
we tootled around that first day out of Athens, and the waves were about 6 inches high. And we said, "There's nothing to this. This is fantastic. This is just
Yeah.
breeze, right?"
And then we hit 35 knots.
Yeah, that was fine. The next day, I had 35 or 37 knots or something like that, and the waves were 5 feet high, and they were coming over the side of the boat. People were getting soaked with spray, and I felt like Gilligan standing in the ship in a 3-hour cruise, right?
Yeah.
And then that day when we're headed directly upwind and trying to keep the cushions down and getting soaked with every second wave, when that was the day the anchor, the windlass failed, and that was great fun. Right? I really felt like I was a true seasoned veteran at that point.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
sorry.
Wait.
Yes, and the only part I can say was, oh no, what have I done is when I lost my nice new prescription
Oh yeah, you
sunglasses.
did. You did lose something. Yeah. And what happened there?
It was probably my fault, the wind fault, the cushion fault. They had been stuck on my face the entire time, and then we were, I guess, coming into Moor to get the anchor fixed, and I'd taken them off, and I should have stuck them down the inside of my shirt, but I had them hanging loose, and the cushion suddenly whipped up, whipped the glasses, and bye-bye.
Yeah,
Went for a swim.
that's right. I'm gonna have to talk to the Navigar people about securing all the cushions well ahead of any charters, but
That was tough, trying
Yeah.
to lie on the cushions and
yeah.
and
Yeah.
hold them down and have them on top of you, and people lying on top of you too.
I never thought 3 people lying on each other sprawled out
Yeah.
was part of the required tasks, but
Yeah.
we got it done.
So, was there anything that you guys could think of that you could say that you could do without, didn't like about this these 2 weeks here? Whether it was the boat, whether it was the place.
I found it frustrating, and maybe this is our own fault, with second generation electronics, but the phone and my hearing aid charger failed. And that
Yes,
was a
yeah.
pain in the ass, right? And I can barely hear Monty right now telling me something. Right? We got by. It was just an irritating thing, and nobody's fault. It's just one of those things that happens, right? And there was a few quirky things wrong with the boat that you had to sort of bear in mind, but we got through it all. It was
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Leslie?
I can't think of anything that's
Yeah.
I would do without. I'd have liked more handrails at certain points
Oh yeah.
to go
Well,
down.
yeah.
But
Especially when it's really windy.
not the cruise, that's
Yeah.
the boat's fault. But apart from that, everything's been really good. We've eaten well, drank well. Not had many game nights though. We've all been too tired.
Yeah, I know, we're all in bed by 9 or 10 o'clock. It's crazy. Yeah, so great. So would you do something like this again?
Yeah, I
Yes,
think we would.
yes.
Right?
Yeah, a
But
lot
the
of
one
fun.
thing I got to comment on that's different that I didn't know was going to be as good as it was, the food was just bloody fantastic.
Here, yeah,
right?
it has been.
Just
Yeah.
awesome, right?
Yeah, I've had stuff that I never thought I would eat. It was good. Tried
Yeah.
everything.
We didn't really cook at all on the boat, did we?
No,
Not
really.
once.
Not much.
Yeah, not much.
Except
Made a
for tomorrow
couple
night
sandwiches.
to use up.
Oh yeah, we got to
last
use
night.
up some food before we
Yeah.
get off the boat, right? Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for your comments. It's been great having you on this charter, and hopefully we can pick another location and do it again soon.
Fantastic.
All right. Okay, now it's our turn. So we want to offer some comments about this trip from our perspective, being the admiral and captain of this charter yacht. And maybe Alina, if you could give me your first thoughts on the location, being the Greek islands here.
We're actually in Kea, so this is the second last night that we're gonna be docked. Next day we sail to our starting point, and that's where we're gonna leave the boat. So this is a beautiful anchorage here, and it's a beautiful weather now. It's not windy at all, and I think I'm enjoying the last day here very much. I think overall this was quite the learning experience for me. I think of all the charters we've done up until I've learned so much insofar as sailing, handling the boat, being at the helm. You know, we were under quite a bit of pressure. It was really, really windy. We had 30 to 35 knots of wind pretty much every single day. So I would say that from a actual, you know, sailing point of view, I've grown so much, and I think I'm a lot more confident insofar as handling the boat. You know, keeping the boat still, for example, you know, maneuvering the throttle versus the wheel. And I think, you know, that was something that I've always wanted to do, but I imagine, you know, being in the open, there's no wind, and I'm, you know, taking my sweet time. And instead, what I had to do is, you know, really blowing winds. We were in a little bit of a panic. We couldn't anchor. And then it was, you know, you need to do this and figure it out and do it. So for me, dealing with everything that we were put through, stressful situation, understanding how the boat moves, for me, I think that was a huge learning. And I'm actually very grateful. Obviously, it was really challenging when I was put in that situation, but I think overall I'm a much more confident sailor. So again, just in a nutshell, for me, it was a great experience insofar as learning quite a bit.
Okay, maybe just add to that too. I think one of the strengths of this particular charter that we did this time was not only were we bareboating and being our own skippers, but this is a brand new boat. It's a 2025 Lagoon 46 that we ended up shaking down because it looked like it was put in the charter without a lot of prep by Navigar. And we'll talk a little bit about that on the boat video. But it was kind of stressful for us to, you know, have to fix and learn things on the fly. I think for us, it made us a better team, coping with you know, these terrifying emergencies that we encountered, and being able to handle them coolly and together without, you know, blowing our lids or anything like that. So we're still married. And I also want to make comments about this place. So Greece has been very interesting because, one, we took a 2-week format, which I thought was great because all our other charters were 1-week formats, and I think the 2 weeks allowed us to explore more and have not so rushed an agenda where we actually changed the number of islands we went to and cut that back a little bit from 10 islands to 8 islands, but then we also spent a little bit more time exploring each place and experiencing the Greek culture and food. I mean, the food here has been fantastic. We didn't do a lot of cooking at all on board, and like Kent and Leslie said, you know, it's been great to eat out and experience all the seafood, all the Greek food, and everything that we have here. And as you can see, instead of paying for very expensive hotels, we pull up to the seawall here in town, and we've got power, we've got electricity, and we're right where all the restaurants. So tonight I think we're just going to have dinner at the restaurant across the street here, not less than 40 feet away. So that I really love about Greece and Europe. I got a taste of that in Italy 2 years ago when we were there in Sardinia, but this is completely different here. And I also think that this place, if I were to do it again, I think if I were to do this trip again, I think I would personally prep the crew a little bit more, because we ran into some instances where perhaps I could have used their help a little bit more, but you know, we got through it, and you know, yelling instructions at people is a little bit stressful. So yeah, it's been great. One thing I didn't like about, I still don't like the Med mooring. I hate fly bridge boats. We'll talk about that in detail as well. Anything that you liked or disliked?
I think if I was to do this again, I would probably not stick to the predetermined itinerary. I would actually look at predicted wind, and I would tailor my itinerary based on wind direction and wind speed. I think that is so important, and especially when you're at liberty of choosing where you want to go, when you want to go, take a look at predicted wind, because that's what we did not do very well. And the last day we were faced with a dead-on wind. I've never actually sailed
Well,
with wind.
in my defense, I'm the one that uses predict wind, and it has been consistent here in the sense that it's been damn consistently strong, unexpectedly strong. I think the forecast is at least 5 to 10 knots lower than what we actually got in between the islands here. Although the wind direction was correct, it's been predominantly from the north and northeast, and it's been very strong. You know, we've talked to some people here, locals, and they say it's been abnormally strong for this time of the year, and we haven't even entered the Multemi season yet, which is their very strong gale winds that they sometimes get.
Exactly. I mean, they were saying, you know, a couple of weeks before our trip, the winds were from the south, and they were saying that people were complaining all the sand, you know, was being blown into restaurants and into shore. So it just happened that, you know, when we had our trip, the winds were really, really strong coming from the north, and coming back to the marina, we had to sail pretty much north, and that's where the wind was coming from.
We knew we had no choice in the last or second last day to sail north, and that in itself, you'll see some of the footage, was quite exciting.
It was really rough.
Yeah, it's very rough. So especially when the wind is 25 knots on the nose, yeah, we were thinking that we were gonna, you know, really stress out the hull on this boat.
Yeah. But the one thing I do want to add here is that despite all the issues with the boat, it did sail pretty well. We touched probably 11 and a half, close to 12 knots in this boat, which was actually quite impressive, I might say.
Yeah, we'll get into that on our evaluation of this Lagoon 46, and get into more details on the nitty-gritty of this boat and why I dislike this
what we
bridge
liked
helm.
and what we didn't like.
It wasn't a bad boat. It certainly sailed a lot better than some of the other boats we've had. And I think I ran out of storage exactly at that point in time. Well, we are near the end anyway.
So there you have it. Comments from the crew and captain. As those of you that have been following us for a while, we have been chartering for some time now and in different locations, all in preparation for boat ownership in our hopefully not so distant future.
Yeah, you know, it's like renting a car before you buy it, just to get a sense of whether you like it or not. You also get a list going for what charter boats are missing and what things you'd want to have in your own boat.
So we'll see you on our next episode, where we will talk more about our adventures in mainland Greece. Thanks for watching.